So imagine this. You're watching Joy, Immortality just activated, and your first thought is, sell Immortality and buy Winter Crown. Most players do that automatically. But that is not always the correct move. Sometimes switching to Rose Gold Meteor is actually the better choice, and that single decision can decide whether you win or lose the game. That is what item improvisation really means. It is not about copying builds. It is about understanding what your hero needs in that exact moment. Let's start with something almost everyone gets wrong. Malefic Gun and Malefic Roar. If you buy both, you are wasting gold because their passives do not stack. One of them will do nothing. Which one you should buy depends on how your hero deals damage. If your hero mainly deals damage using skills, like Granger, Suyu, or Hayabusa, Malefic Gun is useless. Attack speed and extra range do not help skill damage. In this case, Malefic Roar is always the correct choice. If your hero deals damage mainly through basic attacks, then it depends on your playstyle and the enemy. For burst-type heroes like Zilong, Ling, and Hanzo, Malefic Roar is still better because one strong hit matters more than many fast hits. The damage from Malefic Roar is always higher for single attacks. For DPS heroes, you need to look at the enemy's physical defense. If you are playing critical heroes like Mia, Bruno, or Uritel, Malefic Roar becomes better when the enemy has around 165 or more physical defense. For attack speed heroes like Claude, Carrie, or Hanabi, that number is lower, around 147. Below those numbers, Malefic Gun can actually be the better choice, especially if you use the extra range to stay safe while hitting tanks. But penetration alone is not enough. If the enemy keeps healing, all that damage means nothing. When you are facing lifesteal, shields, or heavy regeneration, Sea Halbert becomes very important. It cuts their healing and makes your damage actually count. Now let's talk about cheap items, because games are often decided before you finish all your big items. If you are playing squishy heroes like Clint, Granger, or Wanwan, buying Magic Blade early can save your life. It gives you a shield when your health is low. Do not rush upgrading it. Keep Magic Blade first, then upgrade it to Rose Gold Meteor after you already have 3 finished items. For heroes that rely on skill burst, like Fanny, Piquito, or Granger, Fury Hammer is extremely valuable. It is cheap and gives physical penetration. You should buy it before your first big item. Later in the game, you can upgrade it depending on what you need. If you want more burst damage, upgrade to Heptases. If you want more movement speed and chasing power, upgrade to Hunter Strike. For attack speed heroes like Claude, Mosca, and Wanwan, Swift Crossbow is almost always needed after boots. However, do not rush Corrosion Scythe. If the enemy team is tanky, buy Demon Hunter Sword first, then upgrade Swift Crossbow later. Magic heroes also need smart item choices. Many players argue about Divine Glaive and Genius Wand, but the idea is simple. Divine Glaive only becomes better when enemies have very high magic defense, around 145 or more. The problem is you cannot always trust the scoreboard, because items like Athena's shield or radiant armor increase magic defense during fights. If you see those items, Divine Glaive is the safer choice. If not, Genius Wand is usually better and cheaper. Just like physical damage, magic penetration does nothing if the enemy heals too much. If the enemy has strong healing, Glowing Wand becomes more valuable than penetration. Cheap magic items matter a lot in the early game. For mana-hungry mages like Xavier, Cecilian, or Lilia, Magic Necklace helps a lot. If your hero uses Demon Shoes or Azure Blade, like Harith or Lunox, you can even buy 2 Magic Necklaces early. If your hero uses Enchanted Talisman, like Eve or Luo Yi, buy Mystery Codex first, then Magic Necklace. If your hero needs a lot of cooldown reduction, Book of Sages helps. If your hero needs Spell Vamp, Mystic Container is one of the best and cheapest options. It is so cheap that even physical heroes like Fanny or Xborg can use it. If your hero needs more movement speed to rotate around the map, like Eve, the Leer, or Joy, Exotic Veil is a good choice. Defensive items are actually more important than attack items. If the enemy deals most of their damage through skills, like Hayabusa or Paquito, Anti-Cuirass reduces their damage a lot. If the enemy relies on attack speed, like Claude or Wanwan, Dominance Ice is very effective. If the enemy deals heavy critical damage, like Mia or Bruno, Blade Armor is the right counter. Against magic damage, it is straightforward. Burst mages like Eudora or Guzin are countered by Athena's shield. DPS mages like Cecilian or Harith are countered by Radiant Armor. Some items are only good in specific situations. Oracle is very strong if your team has healers like Estes, Florin, or Angela. Blood Wings is great when you build a lot of magic power because it gives a big shield. Wind of Nature is extremely strong for marksmen. And if you are holding Retribution, Immortality is almost always needed. Now back to Immortality, because this is where many games are thrown. When Immortality activates, do not immediately sell it and buy Winter Crown. First, look at your cooldowns. If your skills are ready, Rose Gold Meteor is often the better option. It gives you a shield and allows you to escape or instantly use Retribution. If your skills are still on cooldown, then Winter Crown is the safer choice so you can wait. That is why in the Joy situation, selling Immortality and switching to Rose Gold Meteor was the winning move. Once you understand this, item building stops being confusing. You stop copying builds and start adapting. And that is how you actually win more games. Please like, share and subscribe. Thanks be to God.